Loving yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. You cannot give your best to the world if you do not give your best to yourself. The first step to growing is believing you deserve to grow. These are truths everyone needs to hear. So many people get stuck trying to please others, ignoring their own worth, and waiting for motivation to show up. This video will guide you through powerful ways to love yourself enough to level up your life. You will learn how to set clear goals that honor your true value. You will discover how to cut habits that keep you stuck and how to prioritize your mental and emotional well-being. We will explore how to build discipline even when motivation fades and how to surround yourself with people who push you forward. If you're ready to stop holding yourself back
and start becoming the best version of yourself, then let's dive in. Chapter 1. Set clear goals that reflect your true worth. How you see yourself decides how far you'll go in life. And the truth is, most people set goals based on fear, not faith. Based on their current situation, not their true potential. They settle, they shrink, they aim for less because they believe they deserve less. That needs to end. Right now, if you want to level up, it has to start from within. You have to love yourself enough to say, I am worth more. I can do more. I was made for more. And when you truly believe that, your goals change. Your decisions change. Your entire direction shifts. Goals are not just about achievement. They're a reflection of how you see yourself. If you set small, safe goals, it says something about how small and safe you think your life should be. But if you set big, meaningful goals that scare you a little, that's when you begin to honor your value. You're not here to just survive. You're here to grow. You're here to build something with your life that makes you proud. But that doesn't happen by accident. You have to get clear. Clear about what you want. Clear about why it matters. Clear about the person you need to become to get there. Start with this question. What kind of life do you want to wake up to every day? Not the life that looks good on social media. Not the life someone else expects from you. The life that feels right to you. The life that aligns with your values, your peace, your purpose. That's where your goals should come from. Your goals need to reflect your deepest values, not someone else's idea of success. Just because the world chases fame, money, or recognition doesn't mean you have to. If peace matters to you, then build a life that protects your peace. If freedom matters to you, then aim for goals that give you control of your time. If impact matters to you, then chase purpose, not popularity. You don't have to live someone else's version of success. You have the right to define your own, and the more you respect your own values, the more powerful your goals will become. This is what loving yourself really looks like. It means you don't lower the bar just to fit in. You don't ignore your calling just because it's not easy. You don't put your dreams on hold for people who wouldn't do the same for you. You take yourself seriously. Setting clear goals is not about being busy. It's about being intentional. You can fill every hour of your day with activity and still feel empty if none of it reflects what you really want. So be honest. What do you really want? Do you want to be healthier? Set the goal. Do you want to be financially free? Set the goal. Do you want to build something that outlives you? Set the goal. Do you want to finally stop feeling stuck? Then it's time to get serious about change. Write it down. Make it plain. Break it into steps. And then make the decision to take your goals seriously. Not just for a day, not just when it feels easy, but every single day. And here's something important. Your goals should challenge you. They should force you to grow. If your goals don't push you outside your comfort zone, they're not strong enough. Growth doesn't happen when things are easy. Growth happens when you stretch. That's why this chapter is so important. Because if your goals are weak, your effort will be weak. If your vision is small, your commitment will be small. And if your standards are low, your results will be low. But when you raise the bar, everything rises with it. Your habits, your discipline, your confidence, your focus. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. That's part of the process. Setting goals that reflect your true worth means facing the fear that says you're not enough. You'll hear that voice in your head telling you to play it safe. Ignore it. You don't owe your past anything. Just because you've failed before doesn't mean you're finished. Just because you didn't believe in yourself yesterday doesn't mean you can't change today. If you've spent years settling, it's time to stop. If you've been avoiding discomfort, it's time to face it. If you've been living under someone else's expectations, it's time to break free. This is your life. You only get one. Don't waste another day being unclear, unfocused, or uninspired. Take out a notebook and write down your goals right now. Be specific. Be honest. No filters. No limits. What does the best version of your life look like? Who do you want to become? What kind of impact do you want to have? Now take a second and look at what you wrote. Ask yourself, do these goals honor me? Do they reflect my value? Do they make me excited, even a little scared? If the answer is yes, then you're on the right track. Now commit. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for people to support you. Most people won't understand your goals until they see your results. That's okay. You don't need permission to change your life. You just need clarity. And once you have that, you need action. Take one small step today toward one of those goals. Then tomorrow, take another. Stack the progress. Stay focused on the person you're becoming, not just the result. You won't see change overnight. But if you stay consistent, if you show up when it's hard, if you keep going when no one's watching, something inside you will shift. You'll stop doubting yourself. You'll stop shrinking. You'll start showing up like someone who believes in their own worth. Because you are worthy. Not someday. Not when you reach the goal. Right now. And when you act like it. When you move like it, the world will respond. Your goals are not just about what you achieve. They're about who you become. So start today. Get clear. Be bold. Choose goals that reflect your true worth. That's what it means to love yourself enough to level up. Chapter 2. Cut off habits that keep you stuck. If your life isn't changing, it's because something hasn't been cut off yet. No matter how many books you read, videos you watch, or goals you write down, nothing will move if you're still holding on to the habits that got you stuck in the first place. The truth is simple. You can't build a better life with the same routines that broke you down. You can't move forward while staying committed to what's pulling you backward. If you really want to level up, it's not just about adding new things. It's about removing what's holding you back. Some habits feel comfortable, but do real damage over time. And because they're familiar, they go unnoticed. But that comfort is a trap. If you're serious about change, you have to be honest with yourself about what needs to go, no matter how long you've been doing it, no matter how normal it feels. Start by paying attention to your daily patterns. What are you doing every day that's keeping you in the same cycle? Maybe it's staying up too late, scrolling through your phone, telling yourself you'll be productive tomorrow. Maybe it's talking yourself out of opportunities because you don't feel ready. Maybe it's surrounding yourself with people who drain your energy instead of adding to it. Small habits like these don't look dangerous, but over time, they shape your life. They affect your energy. They affect your mindset. They shape your confidence, your decisions, your direction. They silently keep you stuck in the same place year after year. And here's the hard part. Breaking these habits won't feel good at first. It's uncomfortable. You'll feel the pull to go back. But discomfort is a signal that you're leaving behind the old version of yourself. That's growth. Cutting off old habits is not punishment. It's self-respect. It's choosing to stop harming yourself in quiet ways. It's recognizing that your future matters more than your momentary comfort. If you constantly say, "I'll start tomorrow," that's a habit. If you check your phone first thing in the morning and last thing at night, that's a habit. If you avoid hard conversations, delay decisions, procrastinate on responsibilities, those are habits, and they're not harmless. They're costing you time, energy, confidence, and progress. Ask yourself this: what is this habit costing me? Every time you skip the gym, it's costing your health. Every time you avoid doing the work, it's costing your growth. Every time you stay in toxic conversations, it's costing your peace. Every time you lie to yourself about how you'll do better later, it's costing your future. You have to become aware of what you're allowing into your life and what it's doing to you. Awareness is the first step. Change starts when you see clearly what's not working. But awareness alone won't save you. You have to make decisions. You have to act on what you know. That's where strength comes in. Start small. Choose one habit that's clearly keeping you stuck. Don't make excuses for it. Don't sugarcoat it. Call it what it is: a weight, a distraction, a barrier. Then remove it. Replace it with something better. If you constantly waste time online, replace that time with something that actually feeds your mind. If you wake up late and feel rushed every morning, go to bed earlier and prepare for the next day the night before. If you keep avoiding your goals out of fear, take one uncomfortable step toward them every day. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And yes, there will be resistance. Your mind will try to convince you to stay the same. That voice in your head will tell you it's too hard, too late, too risky. Don't listen. That's the voice of fear. That's the voice of your old self. And your old self is not invited to your new life. The habits that keep you stuck are not just actions, they're tied to your beliefs. If you believe you're not good enough, you'll act like it. If you believe you'll never change, you'll stop trying. You have to cut off the thought patterns that feed the behaviors. Start speaking truth to yourself. Start acting like someone who values their time. Start walking like someone who believes they deserve better, because you do. You weren't made to live the same day over and over again. You weren't meant to settle for survival when you were built for growth. But you'll never reach that next level while holding on to habits that belong to the old you. Some of these habits are emotional, like constantly comparing yourself to others. That's poison. It creates pressure, not progress. Cut it off. Focus on your own lane, your own growth, your own values. Some habits are about avoidance, like binge-watching, overeating, procrastinating. These things give you temporary comfort, but long-term pain. Cut them off. Learn to face discomfort, not run from it. Some habits are social. Maybe you keep giving your time and energy to people who don't respect it. Maybe you keep saying yes to things that leave you drained. That's a habit, too. People-pleasing. It doesn't make you kind. It makes you resentful. Cut it off. Cutting off habits isn't about becoming a machine. It's about becoming free. Free to live a life that's actually aligned with who you want to be. Free to create your own story instead of repeating the one you've been handed. This takes courage. It takes clarity. And most of all, it takes discipline. You're going to feel resistance. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel tempted to go back. But every time you choose progress over comfort, you become stronger. Discipline is love. It's how you show yourself that you matter, not through words, but through action. When you cut off the things that are keeping you stuck, you make room for the life that's waiting for you. The life where you wake up clear, focused, and proud of how you're living. The life where you're not carrying guilt, regret, or shame because you keep breaking your own promises. The life where your actions match your dreams. It starts with one decision: to stop pretending you're okay with habits that are hurting you. To stop telling yourself that change is for later. To stop giving your future away to distractions and comfort zones. You're better than your worst habits. You are capable of more than what your routines reflect right now. If you want something better, prove it. Not through words, through action. Pick one habit today, just one, and cut it off. Replace it with a new pattern, something that builds you, not breaks you. Track your progress. Stay accountable. Refuse to go back. This is how you level up. Not by wishing, not by waiting, but by doing the hard work of becoming better. One habit at a time. Your future is waiting on the other side of the things you need to let go of. Make the choice. Cut it off. Start now. Chapter 3. Prioritize your mental and emotional well-being daily. Most people focus on their goals, their schedule, their to-do list, but they ignore the most important part of the process, how they're feeling on the inside. And not just once in a while, but every single day. The truth is, you can have the best plan, the biggest dreams, and the most talent in the world, but if your mind and emotions aren't in a healthy place, none of it matters. You'll burn out. You'll shut down. You'll give up before you see results. That's why your mental and emotional well-being must be a daily priority. Not once a month. Not when you're overwhelmed. Daily. If you're serious about leveling up, you need to build strength from the inside out. It's not just about grinding or pushing through. It's about checking in with yourself. It's about understanding what you feel and why. It's about giving yourself what you need to stay healthy, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Start with this question: how are you really doing? Not just how you're pretending to feel, not just what you're posting online. How are you deep down? Are you tired? Are you feeling anxious every day? Are you numb? Do you feel like you're just going through the motions? Most people never stop to ask. They just keep pushing, keep pretending, keep avoiding. But the cost of ignoring yourself is heavy. It shows up in your energy, in your relationships, in your focus, in your sleep, in your mood. You can't outrun your emotions. You have to face them, manage them, and protect your peace. Prioritizing your mental and emotional well-being starts with paying attention. You can't fix what you refuse to face. Start noticing what drains you. What situations leave you feeling small? What people leave you mentally exhausted? What habits increase your stress or lower your self-worth? At the same time, notice what builds you. What moments give you peace? Who do you feel safe around? What actions give you energy and confidence? This awareness is power, because once you're aware, you can start choosing better. Every day you're either protecting your peace or giving it away. You're either feeding your mind with what heals you or allowing what harms you. You're either creating space to recharge or choosing to stay drained. And none of this happens by accident. You have to create daily habits that support your mental and emotional health. That means taking breaks. Real ones, not just scrolling on your phone. Step outside. Breathe. Be quiet. Let your nervous system relax. Even 10 minutes can reset your whole mood. That means talking about what you feel, not bottling it up, not pretending you're fine. Whether it's through journaling, praying, talking to someone you trust, you need a space where your emotions are allowed to exist. That means setting boundaries with people, with work, with anything that crosses the line and costs you your well-being. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to protect your peace. You don't owe everyone access to your energy. That means feeding your mind with things that help you grow, not just entertainment, but truth. Read something helpful. Listen to something real. Don't just escape your problems. Learn how to face them with strength. Taking care of your mental and emotional health also means being honest about what needs to change. Sometimes you're overwhelmed because your life is out of balance. Too much stress, too much comparison, too much pretending, too little rest, too little support, too little purpose. You need to reset. Get serious about your sleep. Your mind can't heal if you're constantly exhausted. Start your day with intention, not distraction. Don't jump into chaos. Take 5 minutes to breathe, stretch, or sit with your thoughts. Cut down on things that make you anxious. Constant news, toxic conversations, fake pressure to keep up with everyone. Stop chasing a version of success that costs your peace. You weren't made to impress people. You were made to live a life that feels right to you. If you're constantly overwhelmed, always tired, always frustrated, that's your system sending you a message. Listen to it. This isn't about being selfish. It's about survival. If your mind breaks down, everything around you will follow. You can't give your best if you're running on empty. You can't lead others if you're falling apart inside. You can't grow if you're constantly at war with yourself. You have to make space for healing. Every single day. That might mean reducing your workload. It might mean spending more time in quiet. It might mean taking a walk without a phone in your hand. It might mean saying no to things that used to be a yes. Mental and emotional self-care is not weakness. It's strength. It's maturity. It's responsibility. And it's one of the most powerful forms of self-respect. When you prioritize your mind and emotions, you stop reacting to life. You start responding with clarity. You stop spiraling every time something goes wrong. You start handling challenges with a calm mind and steady heart. People who love themselves enough to level up don't ignore their internal world. They know that the real battle is inside, and they fight for their peace the same way they fight for their goals. If you feel stuck right now, overwhelmed or mentally exhausted, it's time to step back and take care of what's going on inside, because no amount of outer success will ever heal inner chaos. No promotion, no money, no validation can fill the emptiness you feel when your mental health is suffering. The real win is waking up in peace, going to bed without anxiety, living your life without constant stress or emotional fatigue. That kind of life is possible, but only if you choose to care for yourself in the ways that matter most. Start today. Start with one habit. Give yourself space. Protect your peace. Don't wait for a breakdown to start valuing your mental and emotional well-being. You deserve more than survival. You deserve to feel alive, grounded and whole. Make that your standard, and protect it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Chapter 4. Stop pleasing others at the cost of growth. There comes a point in life where you have to choose, keep everyone else comfortable, or finally grow into the person you were meant to be. And that choice is not easy. because pleasing others feels safe. It keeps things peaceful. It keeps people liking you. But at what cost? You start shrinking yourself so they don't feel uncomfortable. You downplay your goals so they don't feel left behind. You hide your growth so they won't call you arrogant. And over time, you start losing parts of yourself. Your voice, your potential, your direction. Pleasing people feels rewarding in the moment, but it's exhausting in the long run. You start carrying weight that's not yours to hold. You start saying yes when everything inside you is screaming. And before you know it, your life is no longer yours. It's a reaction to what everyone else expects. This is not how growth works. You cannot level up while living under the pressure to keep everyone happy. Growth requires space. It requires honesty. It requires bold decisions that others may not understand. And if you keep trying to make everyone else comfortable, you'll never create the life you truly want. Here's what's real. Not everyone will support your growth. Not everyone will clap when you rise. Some people are only comfortable with you when you stay where you've always been. Easy to control, easy to predict, easy to guilt into being who they want. When you change, when you improve, when you aim higher, it threatens that comfort. And they might push back. They might question you. They might even try to make you feel guilty for wanting more. But you are not here to live a version of life that keeps everyone else at peace while you're falling apart inside. Every time you say yes to things that don't align with your growth, you're saying no to your potential. Every time you hold back so someone else won't feel uncomfortable, you're training yourself to believe that your dreams are a burden. This is where things have to change. Start by being honest about who you've been living for. Who are you afraid to disappoint? Who are you constantly trying to impress? Whose approval have you made more important than your purpose? The people who truly care about you will not ask you to shrink. They will not demand that you stay the same. They will not punish you for choosing growth. If they do, then what they want is your obedience, not your well-being. You were not born to fit into every version of who people think you should be. You were born to discover who you really are and become that fully. That means making decisions that others don't understand. That means setting boundaries where there used to be open access. That means being okay with some people not liking you anymore because you're no longer playing small to keep their approval. Growth can be lonely sometimes, not because something's wrong with you, but because you're finally breaking away from what's been limiting you. And that break will feel unfamiliar. It will feel like loss. But what you're losing is the version of you that never got to live for yourself. Start choosing yourself in moments where you used to fold. Say no when something doesn't serve your purpose. Walk away from conversations that drain you. Stop explaining your vision to people who only want to question it. You are allowed to grow beyond the expectations people placed on you. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to raise your standards. You are allowed to evolve into someone who finally feels proud of who they are, even if that means leaving behind roles you once played to keep others happy. People-pleasing often comes from a fear of rejection. You think, if I stop being who they want, they'll leave. But ask yourself, if they only love the version of you that bends, breaks, and sacrifices your own peace, is that really love? Real love respects growth. Real friends want to see you win. Real support celebrates when you set boundaries, even if it means less access to you. And the more you grow, the more you realize the people who are meant for you won't make you feel guilty for honoring your own path. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your growth. You don't have to justify wanting more. You don't need permission to change. Your life is not a community project. It's your responsibility. It's time to stop giving your energy to keeping everyone else satisfied and start giving it to your own evolution. This doesn't mean you become selfish or heartless. It means you become clear. You stop saying yes just to avoid discomfort. You stop apologizing for taking care of your needs. You stop being available to people who only show up when you're convenient for them. When you finally stop people-pleasing, something incredible happens. You gain peace. You gain focus. You gain energy you didn't know you had, because it's no longer being spent on guilt, fear, or obligation. You stop seeking validation from outside and start building confidence from within. You stop chasing praise and start chasing progress. You stop needing everyone to like you and start liking yourself. And that's the key. You have to like yourself more than you like being liked. You have to value your own peace more than their approval. You have to be willing to let go of being nice, if it means finally being free. Because pleasing others at the cost of your own growth is a slow kind of self-betrayal. You wake up one day and realize you don't even recognize yourself, not because you've changed, but because you never gave yourself permission to become who you really are. You deserve more than that. You deserve to grow without guilt. You deserve to rise without apology. You deserve to pursue your purpose, even if it means losing people who only loved the version of you that played small. You are not selfish for protecting your energy. You are not wrong for putting yourself first. You are not difficult because you have boundaries. You are growing, and that is something to be proud of. From this point on, make the decision to stop living for applause. Stop living for approval. Start living for alignment with your values, your goals, your truth. When you stop pleasing others at the cost of growth, you start living a life that's finally yours, and nothing is more freeing than that. Chapter 5. Build discipline even when you feel unmotivated. Discipline is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who only dream about them. Motivation is powerful, but it's unreliable. It comes and goes. Some days you'll wake up ready to conquer the world, and others you'll struggle just to get out of bed. If you only act when you feel motivated, you'll never reach your potential. The key is building discipline that pushes you forward even when motivation is missing. Discipline is showing up for yourself when no one else is watching. It's doing the work even when it feels hard, boring, or frustrating. It's choosing what matters most over what feels easiest. The truth is, discipline is love in action. It's a way of telling yourself, I care enough about my future to keep going. No one is disciplined every minute of every day. Even the most successful people have moments of doubt, laziness, or fear. The difference is, they don't wait for motivation to strike before they act. They build habits and systems that keep them moving forward, no matter what. It starts with understanding that motivation is temporary. You can't rely on feelings alone to create the life you want. Motivation might give you the initial spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps it burning. When motivation fades, discipline takes over. That's why learning to work without motivation is critical. One way to build discipline is by creating routines that don't depend on how you feel. Set specific times for your important tasks and treat them like appointments you can't miss. When something is part of your routine, it becomes automatic. You don't have to decide every day if you'll do it or not. It just happens because you've trained yourself to follow through. Another important step is breaking big goals into smaller, manageable actions. Sometimes motivation disappears because the task feels overwhelming. When you divide your goal into simple steps, each step feels less intimidating. It becomes easier to take action because the next move is clear and doable. Progress, even small progress, fuels motivation to keep going. There will be days when your mind is tired, your body feels weak, and your emotions are heavy. Those days are inevitable. But discipline means showing up anyway. Even if you do the bare minimum, you're still moving forward. Consistency is the secret weapon of discipline. Over time, those small efforts build momentum that turns into results. It's also important to be kind to yourself when motivation is low. Discipline isn't about punishment or harshness. It's about respect for yourself and your goals. If you push too hard when you're exhausted, you risk burnout. Balance effort with rest. Recognize when your body and mind need recovery, but don't use rest as an excuse to quit. Self-talk plays a big role in discipline. The way you talk to yourself influences your actions. If you tell yourself you're too tired, not good enough, or that it's impossible, you'll believe it. Replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations rooted in truth. Remind yourself why you started and what you're working for. Your internal dialogue can either build discipline or break it. Surrounding yourself with supportive people can also strengthen your discipline. When you have a community or accountability partner, you're less likely to give up. Others can encourage you when you feel weak, celebrate your wins, and hold you responsible when you want to quit. Don't underestimate the power of connection in building consistent habits. Remember that discipline is a muscle that grows with use. It won't develop overnight. There will be setbacks and days when you fail to meet your standards. What matters is what you do next. If you stumble, get back up quickly. Learn from the experience and adjust your plan if needed. Persistence, not perfection, creates lasting discipline. The benefits of discipline go beyond reaching your goals. When you build discipline, you gain confidence in yourself. You prove to yourself that you can trust your own word. You become someone who keeps promises. The most important promises are the ones you make to yourself. This confidence spills into every area of your life and fuels further growth. Discipline also teaches patience. Change rarely happens instantly. It takes time, effort, and steady commitment. When you discipline yourself to work even on days you don't feel like it, you develop resilience. You learn to delay gratification and accept discomfort for a bigger reward later. This mindset shift is essential for leveling up. Sometimes people confuse discipline with being rigid or joyless. But real discipline includes freedom. It means having the freedom to live intentionally and choose what truly matters. It means creating space for joy, rest, and spontaneity without losing sight of your goals. Discipline is not a cage, it's a foundation. Building discipline even when motivation fades is a gift you give yourself. It's a way of showing love to your future self, who will thank you for not giving up. When you consistently push through discomfort, resistance, and doubt, you grow stronger. You become unstoppable. If your dreams are important to you, discipline is non-negotiable. No matter how talented or lucky you are, without discipline, success slips through your fingers. But with discipline, you create a life that reflects your true worth. You level up in ways that matter. Start today by committing to one action you can take regardless of how you feel. It can be as simple as writing down your top priority, doing 5 minutes of exercise, or reading a single page. The size of the action doesn't matter as much as showing up consistently. Each small win builds the foundation of discipline. Remember, every great achievement starts with discipline. It's the bridge between dreams and reality. Motivation will come and go, but discipline stays. When you build discipline, you prove to yourself that you are serious about your growth. You prove that you love yourself enough to keep moving forward, no matter what. Chapter 6. Surround yourself with people who push you forward. The people you spend time with have a huge impact on who you become. If you want to level up, it's not enough to just work hard or set goals. You have to be around people who encourage your growth, challenge your limits, and support your dreams. It's easy to underestimate how much your environment shapes your mindset and actions. People influence your habits, your beliefs, and your confidence, often without you even realizing it. If the people around you are stuck, negative, or unsupportive, their energy will hold you back. You will absorb their doubts, their fears, and their excuses. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who push you forward, you create momentum. You get inspired by their success. You learn from their experiences. You gain the strength to keep going even when it's tough. Their belief in you fuels your own belief. Choosing who you spend time with is one of the most important decisions you can make for your personal growth. It's not about being perfect or having the right people. It's about surrounding yourself with those who want to see you win, even when it's hard. Sometimes, this means cutting ties with people who don't have your best interests at heart. That can be painful, especially if you've known them a long time. But if someone consistently discourages you, drains your energy, or holds you back, keeping them close will only slow your progress. Real love and respect allow space for your growth, even if it means growing apart. Supportive people don't just cheer you on from the sidelines. They challenge you to improve. They hold you accountable. They celebrate your wins and help you see your potential when you can't see it yourself. Being around these kinds of people creates a culture of growth and excellence that pushes you to become better. If you feel stuck or uninspired, look at your circle. Are the people around you moving forward or stuck in the same patterns? Are they positive, encouraging, and growth-minded, or negative, critical, and limiting? This matters more than most people realize. Surrounding yourself with the right people also means finding mentors. Mentors are those who have walked the path before you. They offer guidance, wisdom, and perspective that can save you time and energy. Their example shows you what's possible and helps you avoid common mistakes. A strong support system doesn't happen by accident. You have to be intentional about building it. This could mean joining groups with shared goals, attending events, or simply reaching out to people you admire. When you put yourself in the right places, you increase the chances of connecting with people who push you forward. It's also important to be the kind of person who adds value to others. Growth is not a one-way street. When you support and encourage others, you attract the same energy back. You become part of a community that lifts each other higher. That kind of environment is powerful. Sometimes pushing forward means having tough conversations. Not everyone will always understand your goals or the changes you're making. Some people might question your choices or doubt your ability. In those moments, it's crucial to remember why you're doing this, for your own growth and happiness. Building relationships with people who push you forward doesn't mean you ignore those who love you but don't understand your journey. It means balancing your time and energy wisely. You can still care for family and friends, but you need to prioritize relationships that help you grow. When you surround yourself with people who challenge you, your mindset changes. You start believing in possibilities instead of limits. You develop resilience because you see others overcoming struggles. You stop accepting less than you deserve because you witness higher standards. The energy you get from a strong, positive circle spills into every part of your life. It improves your confidence, your focus, and your motivation. You begin to expect more from yourself and others. That expectation is the foundation of leveling up. If you want to grow, it's not just about what you do alone. It's about who you allow into your life. Choose wisely. Be around those who inspire you to be better, work harder, and dream bigger. Remember, you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. Make sure those 5 people reflect who you want to be. If you want to level up, you have to surround yourself with people who are already playing at a higher level. You deserve to be around people who believe in your dreams as much as you do. People who encourage you when you're down. People who challenge your limits and help you push past them. People who celebrate your progress, not just your perfection. It might feel uncomfortable at first. Changing your circle is a big step, but growth rarely feels comfortable at first. It feels uncomfortable because you're breaking old patterns and setting new standards. Start by identifying who in your life is helping you grow and who is holding you back. Spend more time with the former. Create space from the latter. Take action to connect with new people who share your vision and values. This is how you build a strong foundation for your growth. This is how you make sure your environment supports the person you want to become. This is how you love yourself enough to level up. Chapter 7. Learn new skills to match your future self. Growth is a journey. And on this journey, the person you are today is not the same person you will be tomorrow. If you want to level up, you need to prepare yourself for the future by learning new skills that match the person you want to become. It's easy to stay comfortable with what you already know. After all, familiarity feels safe. But if you want a better life, if you want to reach higher, you can't stay stuck with the same tools. The future version of you demands more knowledge, more ability, more confidence. The skills you have today determine the opportunities you can access tomorrow. If you want to grow, you need to expand your skill set, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth. Learning new skills helps you adapt, solve problems, and create new possibilities. This is about investing in yourself. It's about saying to your future self, I'm preparing you to handle bigger challenges and reach greater heights. You don't wait for the future to arrive. You create it by becoming the person ready for it. Sometimes learning new skills feels overwhelming. There's so much to know, so many options, and limited time. But you don't need to master everything at once. The key is focus. Identify the most important skills that align with your goals and start there. Start by asking, what kind of person do I want to be in 5 years? What skills does that person have? What knowledge do they possess? What habits do they practice? Once you have that picture, you can make a plan to develop those skills. This might mean reading books, taking courses, finding a mentor, or practicing consistently. The important part is committing to growth as a daily practice, not just a someday idea. Learning new skills isn't just about knowledge, it's about action. You have to apply what you learn. Skills grow stronger the more you use them. Practice creates confidence and mastery. If you only learn without doing, nothing changes. Expect challenges along the way. New skills take time and patience. You might feel awkward or frustrated. That's normal. Growth requires moving through discomfort. Every expert was once a beginner. The difference is they kept going. Remember, learning new skills also expands your mindset. It opens your eyes to new possibilities and ways of thinking. It breaks down limiting beliefs about what's possible for you. When you learn, you grow not only in ability, but also in confidence. Sometimes the skills you need aren't obvious. They might be communication skills, emotional intelligence, time management, or self-discipline. These soft skills often have the biggest impact on your growth because they affect how you interact with the world and handle challenges. Be intentional about seeking out opportunities to grow. Ask questions. Be curious. Surround yourself with people who challenge your thinking. Push yourself beyond what's comfortable. That's where real learning happens. It's also important to keep a beginner's mindset. No matter how much you know, there's always more to learn. Being humble enough to admit what you don't know keeps you open to new ideas and growth. Investing in yourself through skill development is a form of self-love. It's recognizing that you're worth the effort, time, and sometimes money it takes to become better. When you commit to learning, you're telling yourself that your future matters, and this investment pays off. The more skills you develop, the more confident you become. Confidence breeds action, and action leads to results. This cycle builds momentum that propels you forward. Don't wait for the perfect time or the perfect opportunity. Start with small steps today. Read a chapter of a book. Watch a tutorial. Practice a new habit. Every small action adds up over time. Your future self will thank you for the effort you put in today. Because the skills you develop now will open doors, create options, and build resilience. You become capable of handling whatever challenges come your way. Remember, the journey of growth is ongoing. You will always be learning, evolving, and becoming. That's the beauty of life. The more you invest in yourself, the more you can love yourself enough to level up. Chapter 8. Walk away from anything that drains your energy. Energy is one of the most valuable things you have. It's what powers your actions, your thoughts, your emotions. Without energy, nothing moves forward. But many people don't realize how much they give their energy away to things, people, and situations that drain them. If you want to level up, you have to learn to protect your energy fiercely, and that means walking away from whatever drains it. Draining energy doesn't always come from obvious sources. Sometimes it's a toxic relationship. Sometimes it's a job that leaves you exhausted. Sometimes it's a habit or a mindset that wears you down slowly. Whatever the source, when something constantly leaves you tired, frustrated, or overwhelmed, it's stealing from your potential. Your energy is limited, even if it sometimes feels like you can push endlessly. When you keep giving your energy to what drains you, you're stealing from your own growth. You're sacrificing your peace, focus, and power for things that don't serve you. Walking away from energy drainers isn't about being selfish or running from problems. It's about valuing yourself enough to protect what fuels you. It's about making space for what builds you up, instead of what breaks you down. Start by paying attention to where your energy goes every day. Notice what leaves you feeling drained. Is it certain people, specific tasks, negative thoughts, or habits? Awareness is the first step to change. Some people and situations demand more energy than they give back. They leave you feeling empty or stressed, not because you're weak, but because their presence or demands are unhealthy. Holding on to these drains only keeps you stuck. Walking away might mean ending relationships that no longer serve you. It might mean quitting a job that crushes your spirit. It might mean stopping habits that waste your energy on temporary distractions instead of real progress. It's okay to say no. It's okay to step back. You don't owe anyone your energy if it comes at the cost of your well-being. When you say yes to yourself, you're making room for growth, creativity, and joy. It's natural to feel guilty when walking away from something or someone familiar. But remember, guilt is often a sign that you're breaking old patterns. It's a signal that you're setting new boundaries, and that's a healthy, necessary part of growth. When you protect your energy, you create a powerful foundation. You're no longer running on empty or reacting to stress. Instead, you're focused, clear, and ready to take consistent action toward your goals. This doesn't mean you avoid challenges or responsibility. Sometimes, Growth requires effort and discomfort, but there's a difference between productive effort and needless exhaustion. The key is knowing when something is pushing you forward and when it's just wearing you down. Learning to walk away is about respect. Respect for your time, your emotions, and your dreams. It's about honoring your limits while expanding your potential. When you refuse to drain yourself on things that don't matter, you create space for what truly matters. You might worry that walking away means giving up or failing, but walking away from energy drains is actually a brave choice. It's a commitment to yourself and your future. It shows you value your own growth more than temporary comfort. When you walk away from what drains you, you're making a statement. Your energy is sacred. You are choosing to fuel your life with positivity, focus, and purpose. You're saying no to distractions and yes to progress. Over time, this practice becomes a habit. You get better at recognizing what drains you and taking action before it pulls you down. Your life shifts from chaos and exhaustion to balance and clarity. Your energy is your power. Protect it, guard it, invest it wisely. Walk away from anything that tries to steal it. That's how you love yourself enough to level up. Chapter 9. Speak to yourself with honesty and respect. The way you speak to yourself shapes everything: your confidence, your decisions, your energy, and ultimately, your life. Self-talk isn't just words inside your head. It's a powerful force that influences how you see yourself and what you believe you're capable of. If you want to level up, it's essential to speak to yourself with honesty and respect every single day. Many people are their own harshest critics. They beat themselves up over mistakes, compare themselves negatively to others, or talk down to themselves like they would never allow someone else to do. That kind of self-talk wears you down. It kills motivation, it feeds doubt, and it keeps you stuck in a place far below your potential. Speaking honestly to yourself doesn't mean being cruel or judgmental. It means facing your reality with clear eyes, recognizing your strengths and weaknesses without denial or exaggeration. It means owning your mistakes without shame and celebrating your wins without arrogance. When you're honest with yourself, you stop hiding from the truth. You see where you need to improve. You recognize when you're avoiding responsibility. You identify what's holding you back, and you give yourself the information needed to grow. Respecting yourself in your self-talk means treating yourself like you would treat someone you care about deeply. You use words that build you up, not tear you down. You acknowledge your efforts even when results aren't perfect. You remind yourself that you're worthy, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Many times people mistake harshness for motivation. They think being tough on themselves will push them harder, but real motivation comes from kindness. When you respect yourself, you create a safe space inside your mind where growth can happen. You reduce fear and increase courage. Honest and respectful self-talk changes your relationship with failure. Instead of seeing failure as proof that you're not good enough, you see it as feedback. You learn from mistakes without getting stuck in guilt or self-blame. This mindset allows you to keep moving forward with resilience. One way to practice this is by catching negative self-talk and stopping it in its tracks. Notice when you're saying things like, "I'm not smart enough," or "I always mess up." Replace those thoughts with truthful, respectful statements like, "I'm learning," or "I'm doing my best right now." This isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about balancing honesty with compassion. You can acknowledge where you fell short without destroying your confidence. You can recognize areas for growth without losing respect for yourself. When you consistently speak to yourself with honesty and respect, you start building inner trust. You become someone you can rely on, someone who keeps promises, forgives mistakes, and encourages progress. This trust fuels confidence and bold action. The quality of your self-talk also affects your emotional health. Respectful inner dialogue reduces anxiety and self-doubt. It increases peace and clarity. It helps you stay focused on your goals instead of getting distracted by fear or shame. Self-talk sets the tone for your entire day. When you wake up and speak kindly and honestly to yourself, you begin your day with a mindset ready for growth. When you face challenges, your respectful inner voice reminds you of your strength and capability. Changing how you talk to yourself takes time. Old habits run deep. Negative self-talk might feel automatic. But with patience and practice, you can train your mind to speak a new language. One of truth, kindness, and respect. Journaling can help. Writing down your thoughts allows you to see patterns and change the narrative. You can practice writing honest and respectful letters to yourself, acknowledging struggles, but also highlighting progress and effort. Another tool is mindfulness. Being aware of your thoughts without judgment helps you notice negative self-talk before it takes over. You create space to choose better thoughts, thoughts that serve your growth and well-being. Remember, you deserve the same honesty and respect you give to others. You are worthy of your own kindness. Speaking to yourself this way is not selfish. It's necessary. It's a form of self-love that creates the foundation for all other growth. When you love yourself enough to speak honestly and respectfully, you build a mindset that can overcome obstacles. You become your own biggest supporter. You create the inner strength needed to keep going, no matter what. This inner dialogue shapes your beliefs about what's possible. When you respect yourself, you believe in your ability to improve, to succeed, and to handle whatever life throws your way. You stop letting fear and doubt control your story. If you want to level up, start with your self-talk. Notice how you speak to yourself and choose words that uplift and guide you toward your goals. Be honest without being harsh. Be real without being mean. You have the power to change your life by changing the conversation inside your head. Speak to yourself with honesty and respect every day. That's how you build the courage, confidence, and resilience to grow into the person you want to be. Chapter 10. Take action every day to become your best success and growth. Don't come from grand gestures or occasional bursts of energy. They come from the steady, consistent actions taken day after day. Taking action every day is the most powerful way to become your best self. It's how dreams turn into reality and how goals transform into achievements. Action is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Thinking about your goals, planning, and dreaming are important, but they don't move you forward without action. Every day that you act, no matter how small the step, you get closer to your best self. One of the biggest challenges people face is waiting for the perfect moment to start. They wait for motivation, for the right mood, or for circumstances to be ideal. But perfect moments rarely come. Waiting only delays progress and creates frustration. Taking action every day, even in small ways, keeps momentum alive. Daily action builds habits, and habits build character. When you commit to doing something every day, you train your mind and body to work toward your goals naturally. Over time, these actions become part of who you are, making progress feel effortless. Taking action also helps overcome fear and doubt. Often the hardest part is starting. Once you take the first step, the next steps become easier. Action creates clarity and confidence. It shows you what works and what doesn't. It teaches you through experience. Consistency matters more than intensity. You don't have to do everything at once or be perfect every day. Small repeated actions add up over time. Doing a little every day is better than doing a lot once in a while. The key is showing up for yourself regularly. Daily action keeps you accountable. When you commit to doing something each day, you create a rhythm. You build trust in yourself because you follow through. This trust fuels motivation and self-respect, which are essential for growth. Sometimes taking action feels difficult. You might feel tired, overwhelmed, or uninspired. Those days are part of the journey. On those days, focus on doing the minimum, just enough to keep moving forward. Even small progress counts and keeps the momentum going. Planning your actions ahead of time can help. When you know exactly what you will do each day, you reduce the chances of procrastination. Setting clear, achievable daily goals makes action easier and more focused. It's important to connect your daily actions to your bigger vision. When you see how small steps contribute to long-term goals, you feel more motivated to keep going. Your daily efforts become meaningful, not just busy work. Taking action every day also means learning and adjusting. Not every step will lead directly to success, but every step teaches something valuable. If something doesn't work, change your approach. Use feedback to improve and keep moving forward. Celebrate progress regularly, no matter how small. Recognizing your efforts builds positive momentum and reinforces your commitment. It reminds you that every action matters and that growth is happening. Building a daily action habit requires discipline and self-respect. It's a way of showing love to yourself because you're investing in your future. You're saying that your goals and dreams are worth the effort every single day. Taking action daily is not about perfection or speed. It's about persistence. It's about deciding that no matter what happens, you will keep moving forward. This mindset separates those who reach their goals from those who give up. Your best self is built one day at a time. Every choice you make, every step you take shapes who you become. Taking consistent action creates the foundation for growth, success, and fulfillment. Remember, action creates results. Without it, even the best plans and intentions stay just ideas. When you commit to taking action every day, you make your dreams real. You become the person you've always wanted to be. Make today your starting point. No matter where you are or how much you have done, today you can take action that moves you closer to your best self. Every day counts. Every step matters. This daily commitment is how you truly love yourself enough to level up. It's how you turn potential into progress and goals into reality.